Hello everybody, my name is Super Chicken. I would like to show off this deck list right before I get started because I have made a few changes to it since last time I showed it off. Last time I showed it off, I also said that we were having a little difficulty with aggro decks. In my last video, we actually got beaten 3 times in a row by an aggro deck, so I've made some drastic changes to the list to shore up the aggro matchup, but we're also exposing ourselves to some of those high-end decks, so we're just sort of hoping not to meet those. If the meta for me at the moment continues being hyper-aggressive, this might actually be a good way to go. But you know, the meta can change at any time. So hopefully this is a step in the right direction. I've used a lot of the feedback that you guys gave me on Twitter and on in the comment section, so I'm sort of hoping that this will be a step in the right direction. I'd like to point out a couple of things that I have put in here. Generally speaking, I've lowered the curve of the deck. The actual curve and the mana cost should be a lot lower. I ended up taking out Abominations and put in Ascended Shieldmasters. Just that one turn earlier taunt is pretty useful for us. Also, Abominations tend to explode and do 2 damage to us, and our life total, because we don't have any way of regaining life through, you know, healing, at least not in this list, hitting ourselves for 2 damage, even though it is splash damage, isn't really relevant. We really want to keep as much life as humanly possible. I tweaked some numbers a bit. Multi-shot went down, Animal Companion came back, Wild Pyromancer went down to 1, and I added in a couple of mind control techs. One Argent Commander became a Sunwalker, and a couple of things got moved around, but generally speaking, this is what we'll be running. Anyway, let's see how we do. Should be a little bit better than last time. Make sure I click the right deck. Yeah, after the last video, getting play out 3 times pretty much in the exact same manner by slightly different but more or less similar decks was sort of like a wake-up call that something needed to be done. Earlier on in the piece when I was making these videos, every now and then you'd come up against an aggressive deck and, you know, you may win or lose, but if you're just facing deck after deck after deck, you got to do something about your own deck to accommodate those strategies. And we're up against a hunter though, so it's you don't often see other hunters. Like, hunters is probably, I mean, I'm guessing this here, but probably the least played class, which is, you know, a big reason why I like to play it. I'm gonna get rid of the multi-shot. We don't really know what he's up to. If he's playing a lot of cheap creatures, we should be able to handle that with Explosive Trap. And Deadly Shot should be enough to stop any big creature, any big buffed up thing. Multi-shot is a little bit situational, and we don't really know what he's doing. He could be like a duplicate sort of control deck like ours, and in that case it'd be sort of hopeless. But then again, he could be like Beast Rush Down or something like that, and it'd be really good. We just don't know, so I decided to pitch it away and sort of just rely on these 2 cards to get me through the game. He's going for the early play though, so...
I can wait.
Ooh. Interesting. Well, there's the multi-shot. I mean, I only have 1 in the deck and I just drew it, so I guess it was meant to be. I haven't really got a clean way of removing him, so I think we just let him fish. I could put the Explosive Trap down. I don't really think that that is the play at the moment. The only reason I didn't do that just then was because, I mean, to trigger it, he would need to have a haste creature or something like that. We just don't know what he is planning to do, and it may actually end up being the wrong trap, you know, because you might want to have a freezing trap instead. And once you put a trap down, you can put a trap down on next to it, but they both trigger, and it's all sorts of terrible. How badly do we want to get rid of Nat Pagal right now? We could Deadly Shot it. It seems a little bit excessive, but he's just going to pull out so many cards for this guy. So I'm just going to Deadly Shot. Yeah, I think I've just got to get rid of it. Given that, you know, every second turn he's going to pull out another card. And this guy's just going to pull ahead in card advantage. I would imagine that because he's played... now he's played this one. 2 very strange cards. He would be perhaps a high-end deck. He might have some very large dragons that he wants to drop in my lap right now. That's really interesting. See, yeah, it swaps, it doesn't destroy. I mean, I gotta read this card, I just never really ever see it. But here we are, he's probably gonna put out something disgusting and big down. I'm just wondering what the best way to do it. Do we just preemptively try to put down a misdirection? Or, you know, or a freezing trap? Maybe we could go the misdirection and then make him hit himself and then freezing trap it later. Let's try that. Let's see what he gets. I mean, this could be really good or really bad. Can. Yeah, can. You know, could be worse. Could be worse. I like his deck. It's interesting. I like seeing stuff that is not normally... this bot's getting to work out. I like to see stuff that isn't like just a straight net deck copy. I like to sort of see people get innovative and come up with some new stuff. I'm probably just going to multi-shot and get rid of this thing, because it's really going to, you know, if he's just going to keep getting stuff for free, that's not very good. Not for us. We'll multi-shot, we'll get rid of it. We'll put the hurt on Khan a little bit and sort of see where we end up. Oh, we have no more mana. Well, we'll just pass. I realized that, I mean, the alternative there would have been to pass the turn and then his bot fetches him another creature, and then, I don't know. And that creature could be anything, so... Now, this would be funny if it actually triggers some of his own traps right now. Oh dear. So that's a snipe, I would imagine. I believe that's a snipe. I think all of the hunter abilities sort of trigger if you attack their hero, with the exception of... Snipe? That's what I'm going on anyway. Okay, so... We could explosive... And so how do we handle this? I mean, we could explosive trap. And that will kill it, but then he will spawn his secondary Bane Bloodhoof. Or I could just straight up arcane shot it and then set the explosive trap for next time. Or alternatively, I could charge with Argent Commander. He will come in, activate Snipe though, and that will put a spanner in the works. I wonder if I can arcane shot Karn, and then freezing trap his mate, the second one. I actually don't know what the mana cost of the second token that he gets is, so that could be actually quite interesting. I think the trap's more important for us to hang on to. I'm going to use Arcane Shot. That can go. The reason I'm going to hang on to the trap here is because I do have bows that I definitely want to use later on. And those bows... So what's his mana cost? 6. Yeah, we'll put that down. Yeah, like I was just using a trap. I was just saying keep the traps. But anyway, like we do have these bows in our deck that trigger off playing these secrets, and they do sort of rank up. And you get more charges out of them. So there's a good chance maybe I should have actually kept that trap back for that occasion later on. But I'm sort of hoping I draw one into one now. Homing Chicken. Such a dangerous card, this one. Here's the bow that I was talking about. I don't think I can allow him to draw 3 cards. That's just the worst thing I've ever heard of in my whole life. I mean, I can eagle bow it, or I can charge and take the snipe. See, his Divine Shield will still take it out, and then I can still bounce onto the Homing Chicken here. Alternatively, I can use my bow and take out the chicken and set the explosive trap. Might be a good one. If he plays any more creatures, we may actually get some use out of the Mind Control Tech. This guy isn't really a rush-down deck, it seems, so Mind Control Tech is sort of useless. But if he gets up in numbers, you never know. It probably would just be worth to play him as a 3/3. Very interesting. I think we'll go with... Oh, gee. He's just got awkwardly sized creatures. I'm going to play this and try to get his trap to... oh, actually, I should play the bow first, shouldn't I? Yes, I should! Yeah, we're going this way. We're going with the bow because we can benefit from his trap as well as our own. And I think that's going to be the way to do it. I think we're actually going to hold our trap in reserve, though, because it'll just explode, take 2 damage off that, and that's not really going to help us out in the long run at all. Because, well, we just don't have anything that's going to sort of output that sort of damage on him just yet. So we're going to hold that for something that's going to help us out a little bit better later on. In the meantime, we're just going to be receiving 6 damage whenever he feels like it, so... I mean, this snipe came probably 1 turn too late, because a snipe plus the explosive trap would have done a number on Bane right here. So, I find it unlikely for him to flood the board. He seems to be running high-end value creatures, so we could probably just get the Mind Control tech out there and absorb the snipe. The alternative would be to play Argent Commander and have the Divine Shield taken out on the snipe. And then we can swing into one of his things. Which actually wouldn't be that bad. Then we can actually then we can set the trap as well. That would be pretty good. I mean, if we play Mind Control tech, it just dies as soon as we put it down and we steal nothing. But then we can at least get a shield use out of this. Which, you know, what to do? I mean, the other play would be to play Ragnaros right now, and I don't... I mean, the thing is, he probably has a deadly shot. That's the only reason why I wouldn't want to do that. And he'll probably just deadly shot it straight away. And that isn't so good. We could set 2 traps right now and set up a good turn for Argent Commander next turn, but we will be receiving 10 damage. Seems a bit much. Okay. We'll go there. Oh, I actually should have attacked the other one. My bad. And I should... I mean, I ran out of time there. I was sort of just thinking about my mistake just then, but it would have been worthwhile either swinging just onto his health total or swinging at Bane there, but Bane was going to die anyway. So, I mean, I could have done that a little bit more smoothly, I think. And in actual fact, we should have taken out Gelbin Mechatork instead of Bane. I don't really know why I decided to go for him instead, but yeah. Alright, so maybe it's our time for the Sinjin Shieldmaster to shine. You know what? We actually, if he's played Illidan, we actually will get use out of the Mind Control tech. More than likely, we'll steal a stupid Flame of Azeroth, but it'd be pretty good to steal one of his big boys right here, because they are, at the moment, giving me the beating of a lifetime. I wonder if we can rush down. I wonder if it's worth me bonking that, or if I should just go for his health total. I don't think I'm going to live long enough. Oh, that is such a tough choice. I mean, late game, we can try to play him and then hope that we actually ping him for his life, but his life needs to be low enough that we can actually kill him. But then we're relying on the random number generator gods for that to actually work. I'm getting pretty low. Even hitting this flame will do 2 damage on me, and his passive will probably just chip me down too far. I think I'll just go for the... Oh, he put down a trap. I didn't actually see... I didn't actually take note of when he played that. It was only a moment ago. If I played just that, it's probably not... It can't be sniped, so it's definitely some sort of misdirect or explosion. I actually don't even know if I want to swing at the moment. Swinging at him could activate a misdirect, which could be pretty poor, especially if I ram my head into Illidan. Or it could be, you know... I think I can go for the flame here, and nothing will happen. I'll go for the flame. I realize it makes it a little bit harder to get the Mind Control tech off, but... I think that was the right choice. Ow. Very good. Well, that's game. Very, very well done. I actually like losing to hunters. I think it's good. I'd like to see this guy go well. I want to see him take the hunter deck to the next level. Even if it doesn't have that many hunter cards in it, just like my deck. Oh, excuse me. Alright, let's try it again. I mean, my deck is geared for the aggressive matchup at the moment, so I'm sort of hoping to demonstrate. What I would like to do is I would love to demonstrate how well it can go against the aggro matchup now, because I've taken the time to sort of sway it towards that, with that deck in mind. So coming up against, like, you know, legendary mid-range dot deck or whatever is a little bit not quite what we're hoping to fight. Although I feel like if I met him, I could give him a run for his money again, like if I just drew him again as another opponent. He had a lot of good creatures. I feel like, you know, it could have gone either way. I sort of wasn't really hitting the cards that I would have loved to have seen. But that could be my fault as well in how I've built the deck. Like, running 2 Mind Control tech is probably too much. Like, I could go to 1, really. But anyway, we're here, we're testing it. We've really swayed our deck towards the heavy aggro matchup, so these are the breaks. I'm going to keep all these. We're up against a mage. It seems Like, we can handle almost anything. The only reason Deadly Shot might not be good is if he does, like, Mana Worm into, you know, Mirror Image. That would be sort of bad. But the rest seem okay. Do we keep that? I think we can probably get rid of Deadly Shot. I don't know what he's going to be playing early. I think we can get rid of that, just because the mage, if it is an aggro mage, he usually has a lot of little flaky creatures that get in the way, and it may not be that useful to us. We're not going to use these cards. I mean, some people might just have wondered why I didn't just Arcane Shot him straight away. We don't do that. You're not helping yourself. You got to save these and use it on his creatures and things like that. I got a good feeling this is going to get out of control. Do we just double Arcane Shot this creature? We can Freezing Trap it away, but I would rather keep my Freezing Trap. At the same time, I don't really want to use 2 cards to remove this creature, but we may not have a choice. I think we just double Arcane Shot it. This card's awkward because it does have 3 health. I think I would rather just not take any damage right now. That might be, that feels terrible, to be honest. That feels really clunky. I mean, alternatively, I could have gone to turn 3 and then Animal Companioned, or even turn 3 and then Deadly Shotted, but if he went Mirror Image as his second move, Deadly Shot would have been useless, and so would have Animal Companion. And, you know, Mirror Image is a reasonably common follow-up for that. Flare is actually a really, really good card to have drawn for this mage. If he starts wanting to do Ice Block shenanigans, we will be ready for it. But we're not going to let him know we have this. This is going to stay in our hand to the last possible minute. Animal Companion. I'd love a bear. Yeah. Look, I'm probably going to trade it. I'm going to trade it. It's an ugly trade, but it's the game of ugly trades, I think. I haven't really had a trade where I've been super happy with it. Definitely feels like an aggressive mage. He hasn't really got the ball rolling just yet. Mind Control Deck is a very good card to have drawn just then, if that is the case. I feel like with this combination of cards out on the field, though, I'm going to be receiving a barrage of spells next, and that will hurt a lot. I think we keep him. There's a good chance he will actually put 3 creatures out on the board. I'm just wondering if we Deadly Shot or if it's worth doing. I think 50-50 chance to hit one of these poultry creatures is probably not worth doing. The only other option would be to maybe Freezing Trap and catch one of them, but I sort of feel like I want to hold that until we have a bow, or at least are actually threatened by something really savage on the board. So I think the play here is actually just to tap him for Steady Shot and pass. We could use the Flare. We do have another Flare in the deck, and just draw a card and sort of set ourselves up. But I think it's better being held as a Secret Destroyer at the moment, just in case he wants to play those. I'll ping him. I mean, we can play the trap. I think I'm going to keep the trap 1 turn. I don't think it's going to matter too much. Yeah, we'll keep the trap. I mean, putting a 1 costing creature in his hand and then having him pay 3 for it is not that good. Here comes the barrage of spells, and soon we might be able to actually get a Mind Control Tech off. That's the other thing. Playing Freezing Trap will just make that a little bit slower for us. But at the same time, you know, if he just sort of plays around this card and just leaves it there, then we'll be in a bad way. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to have to remove one of these creatures, and it's probably going to have to be... It's probably not going to be the Kobold. It's going to be one of these two. These give him such utility, and I hate that. I think maybe the Sorcerer's Apprentice should go. Our life total is such a valuable resource against the mage because I'm about to be Pyroblasted twice in about 4 turns, so it would be perhaps prudent to remove... Which one? See, this can actually... I actually don't know which one to go for. I don't know the answer to that question. I feel like this could be potentially more damage later on, but this is enabling all his spells, which could be, you know, damage now. It's a bit hard. I think we'll get rid of this one because it is the most pressing now. It's doing the most damage currently, and it is also giving him utility on his spells. He's getting a lot cheaper spells. So that's the one that has to go now. It had a slight edge over this one for me. Like if he wants to get that to do the same sort of damage that Sorcerer's Apprentice was doing, he is now forced to play a card from his hand. I definitely feel with the spell power minions out right now that I'm going to be receiving a royal beatdown shortly. I may not even be able to pull out of this spiral of damage that I'm receiving. I'm going to play Snipe. We're going to play Freezing Trap. He's just not putting down enough creatures. It's great to steal one, but I'm dying. The problem is that I'm actually dying. And I really need to not do that. I'm not going to swing with the bow. I'm going to keep it. These two should charge up my bow a little bit, and hopefully we'll stay in the game. But I've got a pretty good feeling that we're going to have a rough time from here on, especially when he, fireballs us for 8 and frostboss for 5. Yeah, well, that's mages. Yeah. I mean, that's just typical, isn't it? You swing the deck towards aggro, and then you don't face either of them, really. And when I say aggro, I do mean the one that sort of spams the board hard as it possibly can. Creatures, warlocks, that sort of thing. And then, you come up against 2 decks. As soon as you go on camera, you decide to go, show off what I can do, and then you sort of get that. One more. Let me see if I can at least prove to you that these changes at least affect the aggro matchup. And, after this game, I'll probably try to find a happy medium between shoring up the aggressive matchup and trying to make the other matchups not so favorable towards them. This could be our guy. This Warlock could be our man. Warlocks tend to be playing aggressive decks at the moment. I don't really want the misdirection either, but it is a guaranteed turn 2 play that I have, so I may actually keep it, and it might destroy 2 of his creatures by accident. I think I'm going to keep that. I would have preferred a Flame Trap maybe, and the reason I did keep it instead of just pitching it back is because it guarantees an early play. This is a sweet hand, as it turned out. That is a really good hand. I'm so happy to see these 2 cards. We're going to track and try to find something else. Ooh. Yeah, I think the Arcane Shot is probably the go here. I mean, there are a number of low-costing creatures with really low toughness that I can probably just pick off with this. With the exception of, like, Voidwalker and that sort of thing, which has 3. But Arcane Shot is probably the pick there. Sort of just gives us more game on whatever he plays. If he wants to play, Flame Imp or something like that, I can Arcane Shot it straight away, even after he takes the 3 life. It'll kill a Knife Juggler, and it will. Like, I will shoot it straight into that Knife Juggler. Yeah, that can go. Warlocks don't use secrets, and but in other videos, I sort of kept the flair to reveal a what do you call it? That imp that with stealth. I've forgotten his name suddenly. Blood Imp. I've used it to reveal Blood Imps, but the fact of the matter is I don't have any cards that can really target outside of Arcane Shot, which I just used. A lot of it's AoE effects, so I would get the imp with Explosive Trap or other incidental explosives, so I don't actually need to reveal it. It doesn't actually help, so I'm going to use it, draw the card, and pass the turn. That's actually a pretty good card to get. I've said that every game so far, but I'm assuming he's going to try and hit the board with some Murlocs or something like that really soon. If he's playing Knife Juggler, he's playing low-costing creatures. So, this is a good one to have. We'll see how we go. I think we're going to go Explosive Trap, though. I mean, we could go Bow. We could go Bow and Swing for 3. And then Explosive Trap and try to recharge the Bow. That actually might be better. Yeah, I think that's better. We'll get the bow out as quickly as possible. It is going to be our source of damage for this. Get rid of that. We're a little bit lucky in the sense that he hasn't really hit the ground with the really punishing starts that consist of lots of 1-drops. We've been able to handle every 2-costing creature that he's thrown at us. I'm sure it's about to ramp up very drastically soon. We shall see. Okay. Yeah, that shield's a little bit annoying. It does sort of walk through the explosive trap. And I don't particularly want to play an explosive trap to remove it. It's sort of like a ugly, ugly sort of card to have to handle. At the same time, it's not very threatening. So I can probably just use steady shot and maybe play misdirection. Probably not even worth playing misdirection. I'm going to steady shot and pass, I think. I think that's the way. Steady shot and pass. There's a chance, like, I could play explosive trap now. But then if he attacks first, just to clear out any traps, and then plays the other creatures, it's not going to clear out everything else that he plays with it. I would rather him commit something to the board and then leave a trap that I know will hit. Because it's just a matter of his order of play. Like, if he decided to just then swing first, and I realized his order of play may have actually been different if he saw me play a trap. Like, because I didn't play a trap, he can just do what he wants. But, yeah. I think we're going to play explosive trap. That'll clear out a lot of this. It will even take the shield off that. Yeah, explosive trap it is. If we see that that blood imp come up, that's going to be a little bit annoying because it will put these out of blast range. But it shouldn't be so bad. I think we animal companion as well. We could leave a taunt creature up potentially. If we don't put the taunt creature up, he'll probably ignore it and try to rush me down. So I think we just play it because we want to have a presence. So let's have a presence. Huff is good. I'll probably just take that off, actually. Yeah, I took the bubble down because if he does activate the trap next turn without buffing his creatures with Blood Imp, I'm going to get a lot of value, and I'll get to keep my Huffer as well. Alternatively, I could have swung at, say, the Flame Imp, and we would have traded away. Yeah, that's the other card. That's the other one. So I ended up doing a sort of bad trade there. And these guys will awkwardly live. Yeah, that is a little bit awkward. I'll put the other one down. Wow, he's just getting all those toughness creatures, huh? Put the other explosive trap down and we should be okay. We can actually mind control tech now. That actually seems pretty good. I think you should just, if you can use it, do it. It's just like, you are going to have a bad time if you don't. Just use it while you can. 4 or more minions, I will steal one of them. Well, that's interesting. That sort of takes the toughness away from these creatures a little bit, which is good. Or did it? It did. Alright, so we're going to set that explosive trap and get on it. I'm going to save the charge on the bow. I don't really think it's worth swinging into one of his taunt creatures here, especially when we expect him to kill himself. There's no point in damaging myself further. You want to preserve your life total as much as you possibly can when you're up against these aggro decks, because they will blitz you out of nowhere. They have that ability. That's actually really good for us. Problem about the Warlock aggro is that they just have unlimited cards, and they can just sort of like hit this magic button that causes unlimited threats to come out, and they'll just beat you to death with them. So, it's not over yet. Haste. I think the best possible thing to do here would either just to play the Sunwalker. I'm thinking I'll probably trade the Blood Imp with the Murloc Tidehunter. I could go Blood Imp into Murloc Tidehunter, then multi-shot, putting these quite low. What that will do is actually remove the board, and I could leave a misdirection, and he will damage himself with Old Murkeye, which is reasonable. I think that's pretty good. We could do that. The thing is, I don't really have any. I mean, the alternative is I could put down a Sentient Shieldmaster, which will be a 3/6 because of our Blood Imp if we save him. And then what? Set a trap as well. He'll plow his way through this in one manner or another. That's actually probably pretty good as well. I just sort of want to get cheeky with the misdirection trap because we can do that afterwards as well. All right, so we'll trade it. We'll trade away. I'm going the misdirection trap idea. Yeah, we'll do this. Misdirection's up. Oh, that's right. So, big mistake there. I actually thought his attack would be permanent. I might as well just, you know, bow him. I was going to attack the Warlock here. I was under the impression that he kept his attack at 4 or whatever he entered the battlefield with. And then he would misdirect into himself for 4 damage. But as it turns out, that's not going to happen because he loses that when you kill off the Murlocs. So that's no good. Oh well, he can take 2 damage anyway. And we save ourselves 2 damage in the process. Sorry everybody, that's my bad. I should have known that. I should have known better. Now that's interesting. I feel like I'm probably going to misdirect Sylvanas onto himself. I'll probably use the bow to annihilate this charge Bluegill Warrior. Set misdirection, set snipe, and we should be alright. See what happens. I'll get rid of that because I don't want him to lead with misdirection. I don't want him to attack the charged Murloc into misdirection first. Set misdirection so he hits himself for 5 damage. I don't really want to put down a taunt creature because I want him to use his misdirection right now. And if I put down a creature, especially if I put down Sunwalker, he might have some way, like Power Overwhelming or something like that, that will allow him to steal one of my creatures, and I would not like that to happen. If he plays that Void Walker that will absorb Sylvanas, kill it, and then take one of my creatures, and I can't do anything about it. So it actually doesn't seem like a good idea to play any creatures right now. I'll play Snipe as well, and I'll just continue to ping him. Hopefully he'll attack himself for 5 damage, that'll take him down to 10, and then we've got him sort of a little bit closer to where we want him. I'm just sort of hoping that he doesn't have one of those abilities to kill Sylvanas. I realize a lot of Warlock players can do that with Power Overwhelming or Void Terror, I think the other one was. It's really good that we actually did have Snipe just then, because if we didn't, he could have misdirected into his own creature. He would have killed his own creature, but we sort of want the damage on himself. It still could happen, as it turns out. Yep, so he's absorbed our misdirection. That's a shame. I mean, we do get a creature with it. Like, we kill a creature and whatever. And at the same time, like, he's exposed to a deadly shot right now. Not so much now, but he definitely was at one point. No, we'll use the bow on this creature and then deadly shot the last one. Although I am really low, like, I'll probably get soul-fired twice. I would imagine that would be what would happen right now. So how can we do this cleanly? I think we can, if I hit the Murloc Raider, I'll go to 4 life. Then I can deadly shot the last one. If I play Argent Commander at any point, I'll probably get it stolen by this guy. And that's not so good. I think we need to clear the board and hope that he just doesn't have 2 Soulfires. Thing is though, all he'll need is 1 Soulfire if I attack this creature. That's the only problem. So if he has it, we lose. And that doesn't seem so good. But can we live, like, can we kill the board without... I think we can kill the board. Oh, yeah, yeah, we can kill the board and stay on, but I gotta use both of these cards, and I have just enough mana to do that. So if I go, sure, yeah, I don't want to do him first, because he'll just get stolen. The only way to do this, because chances are he has a Soul Blade, and he's saying well played, so you can probably do it. He probably actually has 2, that's why he's so confident. We can probably go Deadly Shot, and hope that we hit Sylvanas first, and then get the other one with Argent Commander. We can't do it the other way because he will steal the Argent Commander. So that's really, really, really ugly. So we're going to Deadly Shot and just hope that we hit the target on the left. What a fluke. We'll get in. And we just got to hope that he doesn't have the double. I mean, he's saying well played, so he's still pretty confident. So I would imagine that he has... a Soulfire and a Drain Life, or some sort of combination that'll do 6 damage all in one, and there's nothing we can do about it. There's 4, and Power Overwhelming. Wow, there you go. Well, that's embarrassing. I made the tweaks to the deck to sort of beat that deck and still lost to it, so what does that say? Probably means I'm terrible. Let's have a quick look at what we could possibly change about this deck. Look, I'm really trying to make it work. I'm happy. I like the deck. I realized in my last 2 videos it hasn't been performing so well. I'm still trying to find that sweet spot. It seems as though we probably could do without 2 of these. 1 seems fine. I probably went with overkill by dropping 2 in. I was really trying to make it such overkill for the aggressive matchups, but it's not really happening. I know exactly what I will trade that in for, though, and it'll be an Earthen Ring Farseer. That's definitely something that I've been talking about for a while, but haven't gotten around to using. It will just sort of ensure that our life total remains, you know, bountiful and sort of up there. There's actually a pretty good chance that I would take 2 of these, but what would I drop? What could I possibly drop to take 2 of these? We could probably get rid of one of our higher end ones, but they sort of shore up our late game. Pyromancer's fine. I actually half want to get rid of the Animal Companion. I realize you often get like a really powerful creature from it, but one of the animals that you get out of Animal Companion, Leok, is the one I'm talking about, the 2/4 that buffs your other creatures, is such a letdown when you cast it, especially in this deck. So for that reason, I'll probably get rid of Animal Companion and replace it with Earthen Ring Farseer. I think I would prefer to pull an Earthen Ring Farseer out than I would an Animal Companion. I could be wrong there. I feel like that'll just help me out a little bit more. Anyway, that's what I'll run with, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks for watching.